are back.
Yes, we are.
Week 13. Lucky number 13.
Not for some people.
Not for a lot of people.
It was terrible. Well, let's just call this the sad Saturday.
We start off.
Startling Saturday.
There's so many. Upset City. How the mighty have fallen. What happened to you? Losers take the bag. The tortoise and the hare. There were so many things. We start off. Okay. Of course, gotta watch Ohio State, and I thought I might just take a nap for the afternoon. The noon games. The noon games. Muddled. That's all I can think about.
Every week we say the same thing. Why don't y'all just come out and do what you got to do? You rank such and such. You come out, you beat your little team, you go home. Not so fast, my friend. It didn't even come. Well, some of them did what they had to do. Some of them didn't come close.
Not so fast, my friend. So I'd like to start from the top, sticking with how the mighty has fallen. Let's start with undefeated number 5 Indiana at the Ohio State.
Yes.
First things first, your boy Lee Corso picked Indiana.
I was shocked. Just shocked, Lee. Just shocked.
Shocked. Ohio State is the first mascot head he ever put on when he started doing this shtick 100 years ago. His first love, and he goes with Indiana in Columbus, Ohio. What are we talking about? In between Justin Fields, quarterback for Ohio State, former quarterback for Ohio State, and Kirk Herbstreit, his ace, Kirk Herbstreit. I couldn't believe Lou Corso did that.
You jinxed him, Lee.
Now, this was Ohio State's third top 5 game.
Yes.
That's crazy. I know strength of schedule's in the beginning of the year.
Right.
And then strength of resume is during the year as people go up and down, I think, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I wonder what our strength of resume is. Because that seems crazy.
Let's look it up.
Yes, we're going to have to look it up. Now, coming into it, everybody said this is where you can find Ohio State's weaknesses. The 2 corners, Ransom, and who's our penalty boy? Igbenogsa. Number 1. You can beat them, because that's what Oregon did. If you beat them, you got a good chance. And the other thing was this rebuilt O-line.
It's being rebuilt again.
Well, we talked about Donovan Jackson moving positions. The starting center this year, I believe, got hurt. Yeah. So we put in the starting center last year, but he wasn't the starter this year because he had all those problems last year. Remember? We had to start saying, all this ain't no Kyle McCord. These snaps are horrible. He was a horrible snapper. All of that in the game like yesterday, and it was like, this is how you're going to beat Ohio State. First quarter, it looked like it was going to be a chance.
Yeah.
Defense didn't respond. Indiana scores on the first drive. Offense goes out 3 and out on the first possession, and we couldn't get it going. And I thought, I'm gonna be honest, Ohio State's the second half team. I don't know why we always start slow still this late in the season, but fine. We are gonna be fine.
Well, it's not fine. I want them to start off hot right from the beginning.
Well,
we don't want to get too far behind.
Well, I got nervous because it was a pass interference call, which I thought was warranted against Ohio State. But announcer was like, if they're calling that, they're gonna call it close. And I thought, okay, that's one. Then it was another one back to back, which was like, he didn't even breathe on him. What are you talking about? And then the announcer says, this crew is flag happy.
Oh God.
And I thought,
count your blessings.
We can never beat the refs and another good team. Thankfully, Indiana wasn't as good as they thought they were because Ohio State turns it around.
Well, first half it ended 7-7.
Yeah.
So it was that the turnaround?
That was the big punt return, I think.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the Caleb Downs on the defense of Ohio State.
Second half.
Was that second half?
Yeah, because the first half, remember, it only ended 7-7.
Yeah. And what was our first touchdown?
Well, I think that was when the punter, they hiked the ball to the punter and it went right through his hands. And, it was not his fault. It just was wet. It was raining. It started to rain. Yeah. Went right through his hands. Yep. He tried to get it, fell over in the end zone. Ohio State gets it on the 5, 7, whatever.
Yep.
And they punch it in.
Yep.
And that's how they got a touchdown.
Yep.
Now, if if and buts with candy and nuts. I mean, but came out second half like you said.
Came down with the big punt return. Right. Ohio State hasn't had a punt return for a touchdown in 10 years. That was crazy to me.
That was crazy to me,
and then offense and defense showed up. They started pressuring the quarterback. He could not, the pass rush got good. And you seen that Ohio State made that adjustment.
That quick.
Ooh, and you loved it.
5 sacks.
And you loved it.
Portland, Indiana, I had to say about this quarterback, I always talk about O-line, they collapsed.
Well, Ohio State has the best defense in the nation. What do you expect?
They went around that guy.
What do you expect?
The
106th strength of schedule. That one when he was on the end and came around the middle. That was my favorite.
What? And I'm thinking, come on now, Indiana, we got to do something.
Well, here's the other thing. 2 things. One, Indiana did not score second and third quarter. So basically, they didn't score half the game. Defense, thank you. Ohio State's defense made the adjustments, and they said it. They did not pressure the quarterback. They started in second quarter towards the end, I think, but they did not pressure the quarterback a lot in the first half. As soon as they started pressuring the quarterback, guess what? You start making good big defensive plays. Mm-hmm. The other note was, towards the end, Indiana came back to life and got some juice and started to make something work. But the quarterback started running. And even the announcer he said, well, this is a fine time to have him start using his legs. He's been standing back there like a statue. Mm-hmm. Like, why didn't you already? Their defense is pressuring. We got
running.
Yeah.
Start running.
Because even though he's a big mouth, Coach Cignetti is a good coach. He's turned around to Indiana. This is his first year. This is his first year. Well, who's talking about Indiana in the top 10?
He said, I play to win.
He didn't, but that's okay. You met a real opponent. But I'm just saying, this is not a team that's 1-9. This was an undefeated team. Weak strength of schedule, we know. But it was just weird that you didn't see that adjustment sooner. Now, if he would have ran and we would have got him, fine. I said, okay, look, they're trying. They made the changes. I hate when you don't make the changes.
That's it. I think that's a big thing. And if you and all the fans know, they'll see second half, and even the announcers will say it. He's made some changes, or their defense have picked up on this, or their offense is now. He did. They kept running the same thing.
Yes. And then at the end, I thought Ryan Day was going to be conservative because it looked like they were running. Right. Last few minutes of the fourth quarter, 5 minutes, I think 5.5 minutes they had the ball the last of the fourth quarter. Right. Kept running the timeout, totally fine. And I can understand and appreciate Ryan Day for that because I love the I don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. We're gonna win, and we won in a nice fashion. It wasn't sloppy, wasn't messy. They got it together.
Yeah.
And but also in the back of my head, I'm like, remember, everybody kept saying, because nobody was kind of giving Indiana the win. They kept saying, as long as they don't lose by more than, as long as they don't lose by. So I wanted Ryan Day to let's punch it in. Let's get the ball back and get it in. But I said, you know what? You can't play with emotions. You got to play smart. Mm-hmm. And then Travion Henderson gets the ball. Breaks out of that crowd. And he slides.
I was...
what?
For a minute here, my mouth is always open, but I went, what the heck is he doing? Go ahead, score. And then the announcer starts saying, smart play.
Yeah.
You could have ran it for the touchdown. There was a minute something, I don't know if I read it down. There was a minute something left on the clock.
Yeah. Like a minute and a half.
A minute and a half, 1:38, something like that. You slide. And the purpose being, I still got the ball. I can chew up time. I got 4 downs.
Yep.
Even if I don't get a touchdown, they're on the 1 yard line.
Yep.
And by the time I chew up the clock,
40 seconds. 40 seconds
what do you
of play
have?
clock. Yeah, 40 seconds of play clock. You get the burn out every time.
I thought, it's a good thing we're not coaches.
Yep.
It's a good thing we only do this show.
I did not.
I'm not thinking that.
And as soon as they said, oh, smart, it dawned on me. Duh. You can take a knee. You can burn that 40 seconds.
And you can just score 20 seconds left.
They went for it and got the touchdown.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. As they said earlier in the week, as Ryan Day said at the game, we wanted to leave no doubt. And so I have a message for Ryan Day for next week.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. I don't want to move us on too fast, but we know we all moved on really fast because we have to move on really fast because it is the game.
Oh, God.
The greatest rivalry in all of sports. Gus said it, I didn't.
Gus said that. He did.
He said on the commercial, they keep running it on Fox. Okay. Ohio State has to play the University of Michigan. Can I say the?
Yes.
Do not Travion run it in. Get the ball back, defense, get an interception, run it in. Okay. I want that score to be 100-3.
Oh, Jesus.
I want it to be 100-3. We got 3 years to make up for it. I want to pummel them. Yes, I know Michigan doesn't have a great record, but if you don't know the rivalry, don't talk to me. Don't comment about it because we know the rivalry. And I don't care if Michigan was 0-12 right now and Ohio State was undefeated.
It'd still be tied.
It's a game. It's a game. It's the rivalry game. No other game matters. No other season matters. I don't care how much you spend on your coach. I don't care how much you spend on your players. This game is the game, and we need to win next week in a very, very aggressive, dominant fashion. Dear Ryan J.
Yeah.
Comma KJ. Peace.
They could be both be 1-11. And I swear to God, they will come out there and they will battle. And like
what if they both 1-11 and they will be equally yoked?
Battle. Yeah, really.
Yeah, but even if it's uneven, that don't mean the better team is the better team.
And like you say, don't count Michigan out. They still got a defense. They only lost to Indiana by 5 points.
That's my point. They have a defense and they have a run game because they always have a defense and a run game.
And believe me, Indiana didn't shoo that game in like they should have. They won by big margins. No, they did not. They won only by 5 points against Michigan. We sure did. But I want to say this again because it's going to come up next week. Okay. And you know they're going to bring it up next week.
Well, they're going to bring it. Yeah, on Tuesday they're going to bring it up. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I have another message. I say, now what say you, Booger? What's his last name?
Oh, Booger.
What say you now when you
They've been disrespected.
They haven't played anybody. You played somebody.
Booger McFarland.
Thank you. I think I said McFarland. I was right this morning. Okay. Yeah. So, a game. So now.
The game of the day, if you ask me.
Well, not so fast, my friend.
Okay.
So, there were probably a few, and we didn't catch them all because we focused on Ohio State. We had to watch that game. And even though we started to go ahead, I couldn't take my eyes off because we know how that goes. But undefeated Indiana is no longer undefeated. Speaking of the undefeated list getting shorter and shorter, number 19 Army versus number 6 Notre Dame. The score wasn't close. It wasn't even a battle. It came out Notre Dame obviously was going to be the dominant one, and I just expected more from Army.
Well, we didn't get it.
Okay. Well, next up.
Moving right along.
Number 7, Alabama at unranked Oklahoma, a 5-5 Oklahoma, not even bowl eligible Oklahoma. Alabama loses. And put your pen down. Not they just lose, Gee. They lost 24-3. Bama only scored 3 points. Haven't scored that low, lowest scoring game since 2004? 20 years.
I wanted to look up the stats. I wanted to see what Milroe did, but I kind of didn't. So I didn't.
I don't think there are any stats. He had 3 interceptions.
3.
He threw
about Carson.
He threw. Let me tell you what's crazy. Now, let's give all of the blame to everybody. First things first. Jalen Milroe had 3 interceptions. He only threw for 164. He didn't run like he normally does. I don't understand why he wasn't going to the throw game if your run game wasn't there because he has an arm. He's a good passing quarterback as well. And it's like, did you not know that? Did you not know? Do you not know? But let me tell you what was crazy. Quarterback for Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold. Remember they benched him and brought him back to try to play Lil Jackson. Now, Jackson Arnold only passed for 68 yards. He ran for 131. Where was defense? Jalen Milroe don't play defense.
That's why, I said, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Because there's nothing you can do to fix Alabama right now. Call it a day. You're done. This is the problem. No, I won't say this is the problem because we don't know what the problem is. But you heard it first right here. I'm going to say it because I've been thinking it. There is something wrong in that locker room, and it starts with the coach.
Yes.
In the story.
Yes.
And I will say no more.
I will disagree with you. I think you're absolutely right. Something is not right. And when when they were down, maybe they were down 21-3 or something around there, and they showed Milroe on the sideline, and he was upset. Like he was sad, not like just angry. Angry I could have dealt with. When he was like kind of looking down, I said, they're not going to win today.
He's not enjoying football anymore.
No.
I mean, can you see the difference between last year and this year?
Well,
he is not enjoying football.
2 games ago. 2 weeks ago. Remember? I said, oh, Bama, that's the Bama we know. He ran all over the place. He was smiling, laughing, joking. I don't know. I completely agree with you. I don't know what it is.
But it's going to come out.
But I know what it is.
It's going to come out.
It's got to come out. It's got to come out in a documentary or something because something's not right. The year after Saban. Life after Saban.
Oh, God.
Okay. Don't steal my title.
I like it.
Do you got time today? Because
look for it in your... coming out soon, the documentary.
The list is endless today. I hope you got time.
No,
I hope you got time. I'm getting a headache. Okay, here we go.
Let's just
number 15. Number 15 Texas A&M versus Auburn. 4 overtimes. Auburn again, not even bowl eligible. Was 5-5 coming into this game,
and we didn't even watch all of the game because we thought. I think it was what were we watching? Notre Dame. We thought, oh, this game is over. Let's just flip it.
Because no, the middle of the day was a conundrum. We started to watch Notre Dame. We said, we went to Alabama. We said, we went to A&M. Then we went to BYU for a little bit. And then we said, oh, Penn State is not doing what they're supposed to do. And then Colorado. We watched a lot of Colorado. And I mean, where do we want to start with the people? I'm just going all over the place. I feel like I'm the Arizona State coach right now.
And what? Oh, this on speed. But the reason we did flip it is because it caught our eye. Auburn was up 21-0. 21-0.
Again, and I think Texas A&M is a good team. I've been saying it.
Number 15 is a good team. They're good to 15. Auburn's 4-6. They're 8-2.
They're 15.
Right.
They're ranked 15.
Let me calm down. Like I'm not on speed like that.
Let me calm down. We need to take a break.
Let me calm down. Like you say, we're flipping around. We're trying to find a good game.
No. I think we couldn't. We couldn't find it was wild because it was like, oh, this is awful Notre Dame. Oh, this is awful Bama.
Oh, this is awful Colorado.
Oh, this is awful A&M. Well, Colorado, let's watch a little bit because they turn it around and they started to, right? We'll get to it.
Yeah.
And we say, oh, okay, they turn it around. But then we say, oh, okay, A&M's clawing back. Let's see what they're doing. I say, let's go back to Bama. Something not right. They're going to rally second half. They're going to rally. No. Okay, I got to go. Oh my God, Penn State is still, Minnesota is hanging with Penn State. We got to at least watch a second of it. That's what it was. It wasn't we couldn't find a good game. We couldn't find where to land. Everybody
consistent. Nobody was consistent. Nobody wanted to win yesterday. There was all of us to it. No, week 13, you got 2 weeks left. No, you don't even have 2 weeks because
one week after yesterday. You only got next week.
You only got next week because it's rivalry week. Next week.
Okay. I don't want to go into it because I have a big talk about these people and these teams.
But that's the way it was. That's the way it was going yesterday. That's all I gotta say.
A&M, Auburn going to 4 overtimes, and there was a really bad call during that second overtime, and the light show was going crazy. I would have had a seizure. It was bananas, and the last possession was on A&M in the 4th overtime. And as you know, once after the second overtime, it's conversion for conversion.
Right.
And he throws the ball and he literally drops it.
Right in his hands. Right in his hands.
Drops it. They storm the field. It's bananas. And you happy for Auburn, but here's the thing. Just like, well, we'll get into it. Auburn's not playing for anything. You're not making it to a championship. You might want to try to get bowl eligible. Maybe. But y'all just ruining day. And not on Auburn. I'm not giving shade to Auburn.
I'm playing for pride.
People were playing for pride. People were playing for championships and playoff contention. And the people who were playing for pride won it over. And again, I'm going to go to you. Now, I don't know if you've seen that press conference during the week. Coach for Texas A&M, Mike Elko, was in a press conference, and he said, yeah, we're just looking forward to playing Texas. Oh, I mean Auburn, and we want to just keep our heads on.
Yeah.
What do you always say?
Yeah.
What do you always say?
You got to take one game at a time. You cannot jump over a game. Ryan Day at Northwestern. They're talking about Indiana. Ryan Day said he didn't want to talk about Indiana. He said, I got to get to the next Northwestern. He said, this is the Big Ten. He said, every game you play, you have to bring it.
And that should be everybody's.
That should be everybody. And that is most coaches, I would assume.
Yeah.
You can't look ahead.
But you know what I think? And I think don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great coaches in college football, right? A lot of them do college football only because of what it takes in the development.
And they love it.
And the more relationship, right? Less business. I know it's a little bit more business than it used to be, but less business than like the NFL or professional football. And, more about kind of building character and building men,
exactly.
right? I think Dion always says that. Like, I'm not only building football players, I want to build good men to put out into the world.
Absolutely.
And I love that. But I also love the coaches that are constantly saying it.
Yeah.
Like, you made a comment yesterday, Ryan Day, though you see him get hyped sometime on the sideline, I love it. But when he interviews, same tone. Keeps it calm. He usually doesn't react. I seen him react one time in an interview, and that was after the Penn State game last year when everybody kept saying, "Is this Ohio State team really a tough team? Are they really physical?" And he got emotional because it was a big game, of course, in Penn State. And he said, they want to question these kids being tough. I see them every day. These kids are tough. And he got a bit emotional, but usually very calm, very simple. But he presents that. You know what I mean? Do as I do, not as I say, or whatever the case may be. Do as I say, not as I do. But it's always better by the actions. And I think he always says that. We want to remain humble. You even seen it in the pregame tape of Ohio State where they always talk to the players. What's this game mean to you? And Will Howard said, I don't want to say too much. I want our game to speak for itself. Right? You could tell that it's absorbing into the kids. And so you just look, I think A&M just looked ahead. And I want to take from Auburn because Auburn played a great game. And Auburn, we know, can be a team. We know when Gus was there with somebody to talk about.
But let me say this, Kay. Texas A&M was leading. There's only a minute something left in the game.
Came back.
31-28.
Came back.
Only a minute and some. God, I wish I looked that up. But it was a minute something left.
It wasn't a lot.
28, 1:30, whatever.
You're right.
Now, how do you have a minute something left and you let Auburn come back and score? Needless to say, I watched it and it happened. Tied it up. We was laughing because the kicker had to tie it up. This kicker had this like eight field goals. Kicker. Hey, I was even nervous for the kicker.
But they didn't say. They always give you the stats of he missed this minute. They didn't say.
They don't even have me how many games.
Okay, are you gonna talk about?
I'm sorry.
They don't say how far they were. Is my point.
Okay.
Oh, he missed 5 field goals. Well, how far did you have him out? That's not his jam. Like, don't do that to me. Don't act like I'm missing, like, willy-nilly, but he does it tie up 4 times. That ended up being a surprise. That was a sneaker. And that little Auburn team was not going down. They were not going down easy.
Right,
okay.
Next one.
Another one real quick. We caught the tail end of it. I'm not going to say who called it, but somebody called it. Number 14, BYU, at number 21, Arizona State.
All right, I'll just say it. She called it.
I freaking called it.
I told
y'all. After BYU barely beat Utah in that fluke
skim
call,
by.
The 80th skim by game of the season, I said they're going to lose to Kansas, and then they're going to lose to Arizona State. They're going to lose to Kansas because they got nothing left. And they're not going to be able to skim by. And then I said they're going to lose to Arizona State because Arizona State is a little sleeper deeper team. And they're ranked 21.
They bounced back in there.
Thank you. And so, mind you, BYU also kind of climbed back on Arizona because Arizona was losing the game. Arizona State has the ball. I don't know, it's like 40 seconds left. They don't have timeouts though. And so they have to actively play. I think they couldn't burn down the clock for whatever reason. And so I think maybe BYU had timeouts or kept stopping it, whatever the case. So one play, I don't know if he threw it or whatever. One play he just curls up, falls like a baby. 2 seconds, burns 2 seconds.
So just
and the last play, there's 8 seconds left. He steps back 2 times and then just throws it. Well, here's the tea. He throws it out of bounds. It was 4th down for them. But they're up, right? They're up 5 points, 28-3, Arizona State. He throws it out of bounds. The clock doesn't stop until it hits something out of bounds. Well, by the time it hit or the fan caught it or touched it, there was 1 second on the clock. Well, everybody already stormed the field.
Not so fast, my friend.
Not too fast.
Here comes the fans.
Fans stormed the field.
All over the field.
Officials are like, wait. Coaches, Arizona State coaches flipping out. BYU coach is just calm as a cucumber. I like that guy. I'm starting to like him too. He's flipping out. No, the game's over. The game's over.
I know.
And so officials have to do what they have to do. They look at it, and it's 1 second left. And you say, well, is it worth it? They're down 5. It's got to be a Hail Mary. But guess what? What if the shoe was on the other foot?
Right.
What if it was your team that had that 1 second on the clock? They officially say they review 1 second left on the clock. Got to clear the fans off.
Oh, God.
The star wide receiver, running back, whatever for Arizona State, Cam Scatterbo, who I love, is clearing the fans off with the police.
What's the stupidest thing you ever saw? Hey,
long story
I like
long,
a little excitement in football.
I love it too. I love some drama. I love some drama. They get back, they throw the Hail Mary, and my God, he threw it a yard short because they caught it. But there's no time left. If he would have threw it a yard further, which also came up, that was intentional grounding.
It was.
They should have had 15 yards closer than what they had.
Yeah.
Different story. But however, BYU, you got to make your own bed. You can't let the games come down to that kind of stuff because stuff like that happens. That ended up being a little thriller at the end and a lot of drama. I love a good drama. That was funny.
That was crazy.
Now, another one we kind of peeked in on the end, but was, as I mentioned, a crazy little, like, what the heck's going on? Freaking Penn State is playing. I'm sorry, let me go back. Ranked number 4, Penn State is playing an unranked Minnesota. Again, record is 5-5, not even bowl eligible, and Minnesota is leading. And when Penn State's leading, I mean, neither margin is that big. 2 points, 3 points. What are you doing, Penn State? Now they're in Minnesota, and we know Big Ten football is tough. I'm not gonna. Penn State ends up winning that game 26-25.
I should have looked up the stats on that one too.
No,
I couldn't believe that one.
Because a game like that, you know what you say? It looks like your defense was trying. Wait, let me go back.
Maybe the offense was
Minnesota's defense looked like it was giving it a go. But if you think of a Penn State defense against a Minnesota offense, why were they even able to score?
Don't know.
And why wasn't offense for Penn State able to score?
It's crazy.
And you know what? The question came up. Somebody said it once, and it hasn't been a big headline. Why is Penn State ranked so high? Who have they played and won against? Penn State was shaky. They, your boy Booger brought it up.
Yeah.
They struggled in the beginning against UCLA. They struggled week 1 through like 7 in the beginning. Remember I said, why? Yeah. I said, oh my God, USC gonna beat Penn State. Second half team. But it was big second half. So it was like, they were tied at halftime. They came out and dominated. I'm gonna move on.
We're gonna move on.
I'm gonna move on. Wait, my BYU. Oh, I said my BYU.
You got that one.
We're going back to the BYU game real quick. For the first time, I think ever on this show, I'm gonna say it. I did kind of feel bad for the officials. I never feel bad for the officials. I felt bad for the officials because they were doing what was right by everybody, right? It wasn't a little nitpicky. They were doing what was right by everybody because, like I said, if she was on the other foot, Arizona State was down, they would have wanted that 1 second. Yeah. And as we've seen, greater things happen in football. And
crazier things happen.
Speaking of crazier things, I got to let you know, Cal State won yesterday.
Oh, they did. It came back. What are they playing?
They're playing Stanford.
Oh, that's right.
You know Cal State, one of my little secret teams.
Your secret team.
I got a lot of secret teams going. Cal State is one of my secret teams.
Okay, got it.
4 overtimes. Bama's lost. Rushing the field twice. God. Number 16, Colorado plays Kansas. They're playing in the Kansas City Chiefs professional football team's arena yesterday. Kansas is 4-6. Kansas has been ruining dreams, right? They beat unranked, I think, Iowa State at the time. They beat BYU, who was undefeated. I'm sorry, unranked. Undefeated Iowa State. They beat an undefeated BYU. They are ruining people's dreams this season.
They're ruining their own dreams. You're a team. You control your own destiny.
You didn't hear what I said.
I heard you.
Kansas was before yesterday 4-6. You fighting for the cereal bowl, right? Right. You fighting for the popcorn bowl. You are fighting for a bowl, but they starting to come alive mid-season, right? And I've noticed that people are either peaking and plateauing to be good, or people are peaking and going down, or people were down and now they on their incline. And that's just the way it is. You get tired. I mean, we were 13 weeks in.
Yeah.
13 weeks.
I'm tired.
And I'm saying 13 weeks, but they're starting to spring. Right? So yes.
I
digress. Speaking of being in charge of your own destiny, Colorado had a path to the Big 12 championship and a possibility of playoff contention. Because guess what? BYU lost. BYU's in the Big 12. Right? Somebody else lost in the Big 12 yesterday. Neither here nor there. You got a chance. When we turn on the game, I think I counted 10 missed tackles.
Oh, it was horrible.
And I think that was one possession of Kansas, and Colorado had like 10 missed tackles. And then they go out there with offense, and O-line's not holding, or the wide receivers aren't getting open. Shador's got the ball for 5 minutes. Remember, the longer they hold the ball, the longer your O-line's got to hold off, and the longer it makes more possibility for holding and penalties. And Colorado was down 17-0. They climbed back up. I think it's 21-24, and they just couldn't get it going. Kansas beats number 16, Colorado, and I was so. Where was the defense? I was like, defense.
It was awful.
Defense.
It was missed tackles.
Bueller.
Oh,
where was the defense? The defense has been so much improved this year. What are we talking about? And the refs.
Oh, they were calling
everything. My! If there was a call coming,
against Colorado.
And you know what? Thank God for the Ohio State. I was ready for it. The fake blocking in the back. If I'm going to push somebody right here, and he does a twist, and I push him in the back, how is
that?
But I will say this about Shador: he stays cool as a cucumber until
you push the ref.
No, the ref pushed him first.
Well, you can't push a ref.
Well, why didn't you throw a flag when 3 people were rolling all over me?
Oh, that was cold.
I'm the passer. You know how that's supposed to go.
That was bad.
You get a little bit more when you're the passer because you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
They rolled 2 of them fall on him, a third one fall late, and then they taking their sweet time rolling over, and they kicked him when they got up.
Yeah.
You didn't throw no flag.
No flag.
So when I get upset when I get up, I'm a man. I'm a grown man first. I'm a Colorado football player second. When I get up pissed, you gonna try to push me. I'm a grown man like you a grown man. I'm not a kid because I'm in college. I'm not playing that game.
I'm a ref.
I don't care. I don't care who you are. You put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I do.
Calm down, killer. Calm down. Maybe they needed you in that huddle yesterday.
Listen, that's why you said I couldn't be a football coach. Because you can't be, which is weird because I can be emotionally like stoic. I can totally get ice cold. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Trust me.
You heard it first here.
Yeah, I can. I cut you off and let you bleed out. I could care less. I'm real good at that. But that pissed me off. I do have a problem with authority though.
Okay.
Anyways, and so
that was a disappointing game.
Well, you know what? Again, what do you always say? And I know Coach Sanders copied your style. You believe your own hate or you believe your own hype?
You believe your own hype.
It can go both ways, though. It can go both ways.
Yeah.
People start saying you the worst team in the world, you can start believing it. Yeah. People start saying you the best team in the world, you can start believing it. You got to stay even keel. Don't listen to the jeers. Don't listen to the cheers.
Don't listen to
Enjoy your success, but don't.
One game at a time.
Don't. Yep. Moving on. You got to move on. And they should have been able to beat that. Because you know why I say this? Kansas played good yesterday. I'm not going to let it go. But they didn't play lights out. They didn't look like, oh my God, I don't know where this team came from. No. They played good. They played like Kansas has been playing the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Right? Jalen Daniels has been a good quarterback.
I like him.
I liked him last year.
I knew him last year.
And so he is. He's a fighter. He's scrappy. He's all the things. And so I thought like, okay, they played good. But if Colorado would have played like we've seen Colorado play,
score would have been a lot closer.
It would have been no question. And I know I'm doing what Joel was doing, lopping the cake off of one side, trying to make it even. Well, Indiana didn't get those two special teams. Like, you can't lop off one side. What if Ohio State didn't get the penalties, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lop off the cake on one side real quick. Hypothetically, let's say that the game starts. We erased the 17 points when it was 0-17. Colorado comes alive at that point. Let's pretend the game starts there. Colorado wins. Because you had to take away the 17 points. What was it, 34-31?
Yeah.
No, it was bigger than that.
37-21.
Thank you. Minus 17 points is 21-20. Colorado wins. Now, you can't do that, though. If you lop the cake off one side, you got to lop it off the other. One. But somebody else got to do it, and so I figured I could, too. Okay.
You can't do it. It works differently. So,
number 9 Ole Miss lost to Florida yesterday.
Oh, let's don't go there.
What happened?
I don't know. You know,
DJ Lagway is the backup quarterback. I like to remind everybody.
You know, here we go again.
He's not the starting quarterback. He's the backup quarterback.
That's true. We said that last week, I think.
Yep.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm going.
Yep. What? Yeah.
What? And I'm looking at not the top 5. I'm looking at the second top 6 to 10.
Yep. Tell them.
2 losses. 1 loss in the top 5. 2 losses in this.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm not on that committee. I'm glad Tuesday night I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just listen. I'm not going to open my mouth. I'm going to listen because these teams are dropping.
Well,
that whole seeded thing's going to change.
Guess what? You lead me right into my next topic I want to talk to you about.
I'm so glad.
Jump in if you want to on any of the other games. I know we watched a few others. We watched the rivalry, USC, UCLA. Great game. Both are unranked, I know, so a lot of people don't care, but it's a rivalry, and of course it's not played during rivalry week, but fine. Loved it. Little UCLA, you should have pulled it up, but that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. You bring me to, we talked about this on the Tuesday show. There was that chunk of SEC.
Yeah.
Bama was, before yesterday, y'all, stick with me. Bama 8-2, Ole Miss 8-2, Georgia 8-2, Tennessee 8-2. Now, Bama 8-3, Ole Miss 8-3. Georgia won yesterday. Of course, they didn't play anybody. They beat up on not Citadel, Warford. No, Don't tell me. Don't care. Georgia.
Oh,
and Tennessee beat up
UMass,
and UMass was kind of doing some work. And then of course Tennessee beats up on little UTEP, right? But then you have who was seeded number 12 BYU fell. I'm gonna hold it because I want something for Tuesday. But however, the SEC
right now, we got.
So now, coming up, because we are 2 weeks away from conference championships, Georgia has clinched their spot.
Yeah.
Georgia is in the SEC championship. Next week, looking ahead, upset city, Texas A&M loses Auburn. They have to play number 3 Texas next week in Texas A&M in College Station. The winner of that game plays Georgia in the SEC conference.
This is going to be crazy.
Okay? The only other official clinched spot is Boise State in the Mountain West. Boise State has clinched their spot in the championship. Nobody really follows the Mountain West, but whoever else will play them. Now, here's the other funny thing. Oregon has not clinched their spot in the Big Ten. Because, hypothetically, I think everybody just said it because they assume Oregon's going to roll over Washington next week. If Oregon loses to Washington, you would hypothetically, not technically, hypothetically you would have Oregon 10-1, lost to Washington. Ohio State 10-1, lost to Oregon. Penn State 10-1, lost to, or 11-1, I'm sorry, whatever, 12-1, lost to Ohio State. Indiana lost to Ohio State. So Ohio State would be in. Then you'd have to say, well, Oregon, you lost to Washington. We lost to Ohio State. Do you then go down? No. Don't say it. Okay. Auburn, Oklahoma. Don't say it. Kansas.
The Kelly Chaos.
Don't say it. NIU. Should I keep going?
No.
Georgia Tech. Should I keep?
Alabama Vandy.
Should I Vanderbilt? South Carolina Dome. Should I keep going? No. Tennessee lost. Should I keep going?
We can't.
Okay.
We cannot.
Okay. Then. The other conundrum, y'all. Big 12.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Big 12. Conference record. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that are 6-2. Arizona State 6-2. BYU is 6-2. Iowa State 6-2. Colorado is 6-2. BYU lost to Kansas and Arizona State. They're not going to touch it anyway. Colorado loses to Nebraska and
Kansas and Kansas State.
Well, Nebraska's not in the conference, and they don't know. They call it Big 12 carnage.
Well, that's the way it looks.
That conference is head lopped off, cut up, hung up, dried out, diced up, sliced up, and put on some wheat bread with mayo and cheese. Well, that place is a butcher shop.
And the Arizona, and unfortunately, Arizona has the better record of 9.
Arizona State.
Arizona State. I'm so sorry. But they can't. What did you say? They're since BYU is ranked higher. BYU is still part of the.
No, babes. No, babes. I'm talking about who's going to the championship.
Oh, well, that's. Oh, they still got a week left, don't they?
And mind you, BYU lost. They're not going to be ranked that high tomorrow or today or whatever.
That is correct.
Yes. So what do they do after you look at the conference record? Do you look at the overall record? Because then that drops Colorado out. But then you have 3 teams that are 9-2.
Wow.
Overall.
Oh God, this is a mess. I can't even. I just look at this and go, oh my, what? You know what?
Look at it.
And then you know what we got to do?
I guess the only people who are technically not kind of still have hopes up is TCU, but everybody else still has hopes alive, I guess, in the Big 12. It's crazy, y'all. I can't wait.
Tuesday's going to be chaotic.
Tuesday will be Tuesday, but I need to know who's going to, because they're going to just be projecting, but who's going to that conference championship?
They can't tell.
Because you could blow it wide open.
Well, next week.
Oh, okay. So whoever is ranked the highest, we're going to put them in the top 4.
No,
but guess what?
We ranked the highest, though.
Well, you'll know who's ranked the highest. Well, you don't know who's going to win the championship game.
That's true.
The winner goes.
That's true.
The highest ranked conference championship winner goes in those top 5 spots. Well, top 5.
Okay.
Right. We just assume the power 4 or whatever the case. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Let me ask you a question.
Don't ask me no questions.
Who are you the most disappointed in yesterday?
Oh, God.
Player, team, coach, I don't care. Who are you the most disappointed in?
Oh, God. You know what? If I looked at this overall, and I'm seeing the same teams have been in that top 10 fighting and battling, but the team that I was disappointed the most in is Colorado. You fought and died. You've played your little hearts out. You've come back against criticism and like Dion always says, I know y'all don't hold.
You've been working hard,
and he always has something positive to say, even when he loses. Y'all coulda, shoulda, woulda, shoulda, but you didn't. And I think I'm the most disappointed in them. These top 10 teams. You knew what you were supposed to do. You didn't do it. I'm not disappointed in y'all because you knew what you were up against. Colorado, you fought and died and clawed your way back. You should have been the most enthusiastic out there. You should have been the most determined. You were not.
Yeah.
And I say that that's all I have to say. Because these other teams that lost, you shouldn't have. But that was your own fault.
That is a good one. I'm disappointed in so many people yesterday. I think I wanted to say Bama, but you make a good point. You were top 10. You knew what you were getting up to. And guess what? I've been disappointed in Bama already this year. So I think the team-wise, I'm most disappointed, and not because they lost, Army. I know Army has a certain playbook. I know Army has different guidelines than a typical quote-unquote FBS school. Right. But you should have prepared your teams for the win. Right. You should have prepared your teams for the win, and you didn't have to win. But come on, they scored 14. They got 2 touchdowns.
Oh, God.
They had 2 touchdowns. The person I'm most disappointed in yesterday.
Oh, you got a person too?
Lee Corso.
Oh.
You went against your gut. You tried to have a gotcha moment. Guess who had a gotcha moment? Kurt Herstreet, because he's the only one who picked Auburn yesterday.
He sure was.
And Pat McAfee. He's the only one who picked Oregon State, who beat an 8-2 Washington State. We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay.
We ain't gonna talk about that because we'll be here all day. I got things to do. I gotta get my life together. I can't be here all day talking about who effed up yesterday.
Okay, enough. Don't be bad. All right. Okay, Kelly. Okay, Brian Kelly. Let's talk. You want to talk next week?
Talk next week.
Because this week it's over.
Because we're, of course, as usual, now that we are in CFP, All-State Predictor Index, strength of schedule, strength of resume mode, we'll talk rankings on Tuesday. We'll watch the show. We'll give our thoughts. I'll give more comments on what I think, but we'll let it go. What games? Next week is mostly rivalry week.
This is it. Y'all can't be bringing. Hey.
You know what's funny? I didn't even write it down.
Bring your A game.
I didn't even write down the game that.
Okay.
Let me just peel off the first one. Everybody knows this should be the only game you're looking forward to next week.
I don't think so.
Number 2, Ohio State versus the Michigan Wolverines at Ohio State. And Ohio State has lost the last 3 years. Ryan Day, as a head coach, has never beat the team up north. And they are going to play 9 a.m. on Saturday. If you're not watching, please get your life together immediately. So we both know that that's the game we're going to watch. We're looking forward to it.
Are they playing it?
I'm sorry, new. It's new.
Oh, I'm so sad. I can't see them here. Okay. Whoa. You scared me.
It's 9 o'clock for us. Yes.
Oh.
But it's big noon kickoff.
Now, wait a minute. 9.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I'm on Friday. I'm sorry, folks.
There's a bunch of games Friday. Yes.
You know what? I forgot next week is Thanksgiving. I'm going, Kelly, I don't see them on at Friday. I'm looking at all these games they got to play on Friday.
Or you can call it Colonizer Killing and Indigenous People of Turtle Island Day. But, your choice. Whatever's shorter for you.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at Friday and I'm seeing all these ranked teams and I'm going, Kelly's got it mixed up.
Yeah.
I hope on Friday.
Friday's good.
Friday is going to be good, too. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly, I don't see. Well, Colorado, Oklahoma State, Boise's going to.
Well, I'll go since somebody is dragging their feet.
I'm trying to figure out who I want to see.
One of the other games that I am definitely looking forward to seeing is number 3 Texas at number 15 as of now at number 15 Texas A&M. Remember, the winner of that game is going to face Georgia in the SEC championship game. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hold not so fast, my friend. Georgia has to play Georgia Tech. Now, you don't think Georgia Tech might give them a little? That's not one of the ones. Miami lost to Georgia Tech. You do know that.
So yeah, I do.
So I'm just saying.
Georgia's
put that out there.
Miami's no Georgia though.
That's true. True.
So I'm not saying they can't win. That's just not one of the games I'm looking forward to. I'll watch. I'll peek in, but that's not just one of my games I'm looking forward to.
Okay. All righty. Miami has to play Syracuse. Kyle McCord. Hey Kyle, you got it in? You to go against Cam Ward?
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
That I was not excited about until the end of day yesterday. Auburn's at number 7 Alabama. The Iron Bowl, which has not been a good rivalry game in years.
Now,
who knows? Who knows what Alabama team's going to show up? Who knows if Auburn might be, they might be juiced up from the beating Texas A&M yesterday in 4 overtimes.
And Texas A&M might be saying, we got to take it out on somebody because they're playing Texas.
I already said that. Are you
did you say that?
Yes,
I'm not
my
focused.
second game.
I'm not focused.
You are all over the place.
I'm all over the place.
You still on Friday. Okay. I got one more, which will probably be a stinker.
Well,
but number 6 Notre Dame at USC. That one might be a fun one. Maybe USC could ruin Notre Dame's day. Oh, it was like an old rivalry, you said, from back in the day.
An old rivalry back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was always like, you had to be there to watch it because you never knew who was going to win. It didn't matter. In the days, we didn't have like rankings, and you just never knew who was going to win. Mm-hmm. And it was like, bring your game, bring your A game. Here we are. Let's go. All the games
People forget. USC, last few years have been a little shaky, but USC was a force.
Them and UCLA.
Hello.
Y'all don't know. I can tell
Reggie
y'all
Bush.
stories.
Hello. My boy, who is my coach? He coaches the Seattle, or you did coach the I would say Pete Rose, but I don't think that's right.
That's
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
You know the coach. He got suspended. They got in all that trouble, and so he left USC and went to the NFL.
Yeah, I don't like him either. Pete
Carroll.
Thank you.
All right, last game I'm looking forward to is number 21 Arizona State at Arizona. That's a good. It's a good in-state rivalry. I think they fight, rivalries. They battle, and that should be a good game.
You know what, y'all got this. Y'all to the teams. Like you said, I don't know who's gonna be ranked. Actually, I don't know what the CF is gonna do. How they're gonna rank them. But let me say this: we've said it at end of every show. Like, bring your A game. Don't diss them just because they're 4-6. Or they're what is it?
It's too late now. It's 1 week.
It is. It's just, I should say that it's too late now. But now you're playing for how respectable can I be to get a good bowl? That's about how I'm playing for.
Maybe if you only got 4 wins right now, you're not getting a bowl by next week.
I say
Purdue, Florida State. I keep going.
Don't keep going.
Okay. Please. All right. Well, let's wrap it up because we're gonna be back Tuesday.
Oh, we are.
And we've kept the people here a long time.
We have. We didn't mean to, but, that's the way it goes when you're a fan.
Meant to. Don't blame us. Blame the teams that lost yesterday that weren't supposed to.
Now, if they had won, we would have had nothing to worry about. We would be up here saying, hey, they won.
Touchdown, go. I'm Kelly like the color.
I'm Guy like the butter.
And this is Saturday Hangover. It's me. It's my mom. We are talking about football.
We're fans.
We are huge fans of college football.
And we know you are too.
We love it. We know you a fan. And guess what, y'all? 1 more week to the regular season.
I'm ready to storm the field.
Let's storm a field.
Let's go and storm the field.
Y'all, let's get together and storm a field.
Yep.
All 2 of us.
I'm just go in the backyard and just run around.
Let's get out of here.